My name is Alistair Lee. In this video, I'm going to walk through the process of creating a virtual business card for your Adobe Connect room. Virtual business card is nothing more than an image uploaded to a SharePod. Let me show you what I mean. I've got my Adobe Connect room open here, and I can use this image up in the top left-hand corner as an alternative to having my webcam showing all of the time. It's still a way to make sure that everybody's got my contact information and knows who's speaking. And of course, you can set up different layouts, each with their own virtual business card, and then change layouts depending on who's speaking at any given time. This is nothing more than an image, so you can create it in literally any image editing application. But if you're using Photoshop, I've created a default template that you can use to get you started. Let me show you how to edit that. Once you download it, which you can do through a link on this tutorial, or if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, you'll find a link to the generic version of this virtual business card. You can download it to your desktop. Once downloaded, open it up in your image editing application. If you don't have the Helvetica font, you may see a font substitution warning. That's fine. Go ahead and use whatever fonts look best. The image itself is fairly simple. There are 4 different text layers, which you can use to add your name, title, Twitter handle, as well as email address. If there's some of these that you don't want to use, you can turn them off by clicking the eyeball beside the layer name. There's also a place for you to add your image. So to edit any of these text layers, simply select the text layer that you'd like to edit. In this case, I'm going to go and choose the text tool from the toolbar, and then click on the layer. And I'm just going to replace this here with my name. Now, there's a good chance your name may not fit in the space allocated. If that's the case, go ahead and you can change the font size or even adjust the font properties to be more narrow using the font text properties checkbox here. Once you're happy with the way it looks, click the checkbox to apply those changes. You can go ahead and edit the other fields on the image as well. Once you've done that, select the image layer, and then we're going to place our headshot image with that layer selected. So I'm going to go to File and then Place. I'll select a headshot here that I've got locally on my desktop, and that's going to place it in my image, and it's going to add it right above where I've got the default image. That's exactly what we want. So let's go ahead and roughly size and place this. I'm going to hold down Shift to constrain the shrinking of my image just to make sure everything looks good and stays in ratio. Use the arrow keys to move this roughly in place, and then click the checkbox once I'm done with moving that. Now that doesn't look bad there, but if I clip this photograph to the image layer, it will add the border and the layer styles to it. So I'm going to right click on this layer and use the Create Clipping Mask command to create a clipping mask, and that puts my image right into this border. It adds all of the different effects that you can see here. Now my head's getting cut off a bit here, so I do want to refine the position of this. I'm just going to make sure I've got the Move tool selected. I can hit V on the keyboard or select it from the toolbar here, and then just actually use my arrow keys to move that image into its perfect position. Once I've finished adding my image and changing all of the text labels, I can save this out. I'm going to do that by clicking File and choosing the Save for Web command. In this case, I'm just going to use a JPEG. We'll save it with very high quality here. I'll click Save. And let's put this right on my desktop. I'll call this Alistair name tag. Let's go back to our Adobe Connect room, and to add this to my room, I'm going to add a new SharePod. Let's put it up in the top left-hand corner. Then I'll click to share a document, and then browse my computer. And then from the desktop, I'll select that name tag that we just created and click Open. And there we have it. I've got the name tag in my room. To make this look even better, you can hide the title bar of this SharePod. So from the title bar options, I'm going to choose the Hide Title Bar, and that removes the title bar as well. That's a way that you can add a virtual business card to your Adobe Connect meeting room. Thanks for your time.